Not me crying in the smart fit. That Bad Bunny song came on, the one that goes da 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 da, and I couldn't stop playing it. It just gave me this feeling in my chest. And then I thought about my grandmother, about Michal, about my parents, and I thought about how everyone and everything eventually becomes a memory. I just thought about all the photos and videos I took of her and how she's no longer here. And that even though I took all those videos and photos, it's never enough. It's been a year since she's passed, and sometimes I am doing something ordinary like watering the plants or watching television, and I just suddenly remember that she's not here anymore. And it's like I know she's gone, but when I'm just living my life, I kind of still expect her to be around. And that's just a part of growing up, isn't it? Losing people, losing places, realizing that nothing is forever. And it's like one part of grief is realizing that someone is no longer here, or that a home we once knew is no longer the same. But even when we know that, there's still grief. It's almost impossible to understand how someone and something and some place could have been such an important part of our lives and then is suddenly no longer here, or it's suddenly not the same. And it's like grief actually isn't always sad. It's also a reminder for us to pay attention to the places and the people that we have right now, the lives that we're living, because all of this just becomes a story. All of this just becomes a memory. And all of it, like, we should have taken more photos. And I was just sitting there just started crying because I was like, we always should take more photos. We always should pay more attention to everything in our life because we only get one chance to be here. And that's what life is. It's constant change. It's constant goodbyes. It's constant things becoming memories. This past year I've had these dreams with my grandmother where I'm with her again and everything feels normal until I realize that it's not, that she's no longer here, and that it's a miracle that she's standing in front of me. And I'll feel this intense urge and desire to just say everything to her and hear everything from her. And I ask her about her life, and in the last dream I had, I asked her everything about her wedding and what wedding song she walked out to. And she told me that the song she walked out to was her favorite song, which was Somewhere Above the Rainbow. And she started singing it to me, and she was like, somewhere above the chimney tops, bum, 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 that's where you'll find me. And in the dream, I just like realized that is where she is. She's literally somewhere over the rainbow now. And I woke up and I started crying, and I couldn't stop crying. And I realized also that I will never know what song she walked out to because my parents were not at her wedding. There's no one actually, because everyone who was at her wedding is now gone. That song, that fucking song. It just made me feel everything. It made me just want to dedicate the rest of my life, for as long as I remember, to paying more attention. I think I already take way too many fucking photos, but we can always pay more attention to the things around us. I know that song was written for Puerto Rico and for honoring a country and a place that has transformed through gentrification, and honoring all the places and the livelihoods that have changed and been erased. And that's grief too. But that song, goddamn, that song just made me feel everything. And it made me realize that today is the 1-year anniversary since my grandmother passed. And I don't know. I just want us all to be here more, to pay more attention. And maybe to take more photos.
Hoy voy a estar con abuelo todo el día, jugando dominó. Si me pregunto si aún pienso en ti, ya le digo que no. Que mi estadía cerquita de ti ya se terminó. Ya se terminó. Ey, que prendan las máquinas, voy pa' Santurce. Aquí todavía se da caña, chequeate la baby. Diablo, mami, qué dulce. Hoy yo quiero beber, beber, beber y hablar mierda hasta que me expulsen.
De mi tía al más